Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. Today we end our first Xenos week as we discuss the evolution of the Hive Mind. General spoiler warning to begin, as we will be discussing events from across the Warhammer 40k universe, so you have been warned. But with that said, let's just jump straight in. So the Hive Mind, the consciousness that directs the Tyranid race. Rather than being the mind of a single entity, it is the collective consciousness of the entire race. Every instinct and animal desire coming together to form one gigantic predatory mind. The driving force of the entire race, its singular desire to devour. And for many years this was quite simply the only thing we knew, or at least theorized, regarding the Hive Mind. Any psyker that remotely tried to penetrate it failed miserably, most of them being driven insane. The only possible exception to this is the Ultramarines' chief librarian Tigurius. Now, Tigurius has become remarkably accurate in his prophecies and predictions of not only the appearances of the Tyranid hive fleets, but also its actions once they have arrived. How Tigurius achieves this is a miracle only he and the Emperor himself know. One thing is for certain: if Tigurius has managed to infiltrate the Hive Mind, there can be little doubt he may just be the most powerful psyker within the Imperium, excluding the Emperor himself, of course. However, regardless of this, the simple fact is the Hive Mind in reality is a complete unknown element to the Imperium. There are boundless theories as to a true higher power or a master of the Hive Mind, a yet unseen power. That maybe this could even be an old one. And while these remain just theories, we are beginning to see evidence that perhaps there is more to this Hive Mind than the simple animal instinct we've always believed. In the 40k novel Devastation of Baal, we are given this very intriguing passage. It was an automaton, they said, unfeeling. It was as unaware of what it did as the wind is unaware of the cliff whose face it scours away, grain by grain. The Hive Mind was biological mechanics writ large, mind from mindlessness. The Imperial scholars were wrong. The Hive Mind knew. The Hive Mind fought. It felt. It hated. And it desired. The Hive Mind looked out of its innumerable eyes towards the dull red star of Baal. It apprehended that this was the hive of the warriors that had hurt it so grievously. It hated the red prey, and so it drew its plans and set in motion its trillion bodies towards the consumption of the creatures in red metal, so that their secrets might be plundered and re-employed in the sating of the hive. This was deliberate, considered, and done in malice. The Hive Mind was aware, and it desired vengeance. So rather than just simple devouring desire, here we have canon proof. The Hive Mind does indeed think on a higher level. The Hive fleet of Leviathan didn't devastate Baal because it was simply within its path. It came to Baal to eliminate the Blood Angels. This wasn't a simple drive for sustenance. This was a desire for vengeance. The Hive Mind hated the Blood Angels. It chose to wipe them out. Not because they were in its path, but because it wanted to. The Hive Mind looked out its innumerable eyes towards the dull red star of Baal. It apprehended that this was the hive of warriors that had hurt it so grievously. It hated the red prey. This is perhaps one of the most revealing yet overlooked lines in recent lore. This revelation adds a tremendous amount of depth to the Hive Mind, and it gives us intriguing possibilities to future Hive fleets. The Hive Mind was aware, and it desired vengeance. Now, considering this and taking into account the consciousness of the Hive Mind extends to all of the Hive fleets, rather than expecting the simple drive to Terra and the Astronomicon, do we instead have to consider the next major Hive fleets could well be motivated by revenge? If the next major Hive fleets to reach this galaxy emerge from the galactic north, will it once more drive straight to the Blood Angels' homeworld? And if it arrives from the south, will it perhaps move straight for Macragge? A desire for revenge for the loss of Behemoth. I've got to admit that would make a fantastic storyline. The Ultramarines still embroiled within the Plague War, only to have a major Hive fleet on its way. And this would also enable us to see Guilliman engaging the Tyranids, at least on a major scale, for the first time. Just what tactics would we see he employ against the Hive Mind? Man, that would be good. You know, having the Hive Mind being able to be motivated by these higher rational desires does give more scope for good storytelling. It gives us reason to look back over every successive Hive fleet, being able to see if perhaps there was an ulterior motive behind the fleet's path. Could the attack on Eandon, for example, have been a specific desire to gain more Eldari genetic material? Could we perhaps see the Tyranids now seek to add extra genetics from other specific races? The Greenskins, for example. As much as I love the thought of the Hive Mind being a mindless, devouring beast, letting it have some rationale behind its actions does add some extra avenues of storytelling. Imagine the Hive Mind trying to get its hand on a Primarch, for example. Each fleet being led by a Primarch level Hive Tyrant. Now that is a game changer. Where could these stories go? Only time will tell. But as always guys, what do you think? Do you like the thought of the Hive Mind being capable of revenge? Motivated by these desires? To be able to go after a specific genetic material? Or do you prefer the mindless thirsting desire of the animal within? As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. I love to read them. Huge thank you to all my subscribers. Your support truly means a lot to me, it really does. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.